On July 14th, we had a nice breakfast at the hotel and then headed north on Highway 1 toward Lake Louise, Alberta. Initially settled in 1884 as the outpost for the Canadian Pacific Railway, Lake Louise sits at an elevation of 5,200 feet, making it Canada's highest community. The hamlet of Lake Louise has a population of about 700 people. Lake Louise, or Lake of the Little Fishes, as named by the First Nation people, is a glacial lake within Banff National Park in Alberta. Situated 6.8 miles east of the British Columbia border, Lake Louise is located 3.1 miles west of the hamlet of Lake Louise and the Trans-Canada Highway. Lake Louise is named after Princess Louise, the fourth daughter of Queen Victoria and the wife of the Marquess of Lorne, who was the Governor-General of Canada from 1878 to 1883. The turquoise color of the water comes from the rock flour carried into the lake by meltwater from glaciers that overlook the lake. The lake has a surface of 0.31 square miles and is drained through a 1.9-mile-long Louise Creek into the Bow River. The Fairmont Chateau, Lake Louise, is a hotel on the eastern shore of Lake Louise. The original hotel was gradually developed at the turn of the 20th century by the Canadian Pacific Railway and was thus kin to its predecessors, the Banff Springs Hotel and the Chateau Frontenac. The hotel's wooden Rattenberry wing was destroyed by fire in July of 1924 and was replaced by the current Barrett wing 1 year later. The Painter wing, built in 1913, is the oldest existing portion of the hotel. The Mount Temple wing opened in 2004 and is the most recent wing and features modern function facilities, including the Mount Temple Ballroom. The hotel holds 7 restaurants. The hotel was first conceived by the railway at the end of the 19th century as a vacation destination to lure moneyed travelers into taking trains and heading west. By the time airplanes and automobiles had displaced the trains, it had gained sufficient renown to have a life of its own. Originally built to function only in the summer, the hotel was winterized in 1982 and now offers all the regular ski resort fare during the winter months. In addition to the usual skiing, ice skating, and snowboarding, there are sleigh rides, ice sculpture contests, and snowshoe excursions. Moraine Lake is a glacially fed lake in Banff National Park, 8.7 miles outside the village of Lake Louise. It is situated in the valley of the 10 Peaks at an elevation of approximately 6,181 feet. The lake has a surface area of 120 acres. The lake, being glacially fed, does not reach its crest until middle to late June. When it is full, it reflects a distinctive shade of azure blue. The unique color is due to the refraction of light off the rock flour deposited in the lake on a continual basis by the surrounding glaciers. The road to Moraine Lake is open June through September. Since 2023, Parks Canada has closed it for personal vehicles year-round, with only its shuttles, public transit, and commercial operators allowed access to the road. The area around the lake has several walking-hiking trails that are, from time to time, restricted. The trail most commonly taken by tourists is the Rock Pile Trail, which is along the actual moraine. The trail is approximately 980 feet long, with an elevation change of 79 feet. The view of the lake from the top of the rock pile is one of the most photographed locations in all of Canada. That view of the mountains behind the lake in the Valley of the Ten Peaks is known as the $20 view, as Moraine Lake was featured on the reverse side of the 1969 to 1979 issues of the Canadian $20 bill. The area often experiences congestion due to a high level of tourism. We spotted this black bear along the road as we left Moraine Lake and headed toward Peyto Lake. I guess that answers the question, does a bear go in the woods? The mountains along this drive were very jagged and beautiful, but hard to see due to low clouds and lots of smoke from forest fires. Peyto Lake is also a glacier-fed lake. The lake itself is near the Icefields Parkway. It was named for Bill Peyto, an early trail guide and trapper in the Banff area. The lake is formed in a valley of the Waputehk Range between Cauldron Peak, Peyto Peak, and Mount Jimmy Simpson at an elevation of 6,100 feet. During the summer, significant amounts of glacial rock flour flow into the lake from a nearby glacier, and these suspended rock particles are what give the lake a bright turquoise color. Because of the bright color, photos of the lake often appear in illustrated books, and the area around the lake is a popular sightseeing spot. The lake is fed by Peyto Creek, which drains water from Cauldron Lake and Peyto Glacier. Peyto Lake is the origin of the Mistaya River, which heads northwest from the lake's outflow. I thought it was interesting how one end of the lake was shaped like a wolf. This little chipmunk didn't seem too afraid.
The rock flour that gets in there, it's really too light to sink and too heavy to float really. So it stays suspended, and it brings in all the colors of the rainbow except, or the color spectrum except.
Another black bear sighting, but this time I was a bit slow with the camera. This is the Jasper Skywalk. More wildlife. This time it's mountain goats. Saskatchewan River Crossing is a locality within Banff National Park at the junction of Highway 93, the Icefields Parkway, and Highway 11, the David Thompson Highway. It was named the Crossing when travelers and fur traders used this spot to cross the North Saskatchewan River on their way to British Columbia in the 19th century. It is the only place offering basic services between Lake Louise and Jasper, including gasoline, restaurant, and lodging. However, these services are seasonal and closed during the winter. Athabasca Falls is a waterfall in Jasper National Park on the upper Athabasca River, approximately 19 miles south of the town site of Jasper, Alberta, and just west of the Icefields Parkway. Athabasca Falls has a total drop height of 79 feet and a width of 151 feet. A powerful, picturesque waterfall, Athabasca Falls is not known so much for its height as for its force, due to the large quantity of water falling into the gorge. The river falls over a layer of hard quartzite and through the softer limestone below, carving a short gorge and a number of potholes. The falls can be safely viewed and photographed from various viewing platforms and walking trails around the falls. Our lodging for the evening was at the Jasper House Bungalows, located a short distance south of the town of Jasper. The property features cabin-like lodging accommodations, as well as a nice restaurant and lounge. Upon our arrival, this elk was feeding on some of the beautiful flowers on the property and was promptly shooed away. Here is a look at our room. We saw this elk through the restaurant window while we were eating our evening meal. Our cabin sat next to the Athabasca River, so we took a hike following the river. Here are some photos and video clips taken during our walk.
Got plenty of elk tracks.
Yep. The Athabasca River originates at the Columbia Icefield in Jasper National Park and flows more than 765 miles before emptying into Lake Athabasca. The water travels to Great Slave Lake and eventually into the Arctic Ocean, approximately 2,500 miles away. The cumulative drainage area is 36,800 square miles.